Okay, it should be on. So for anybody who missed the webinar, they will have the recording too. Okay, I hope everybody sees my screen. I will start with, like I said, I will start with news from Microsoft 365 event from Microsoft Ignite, and it's all going to be related to modern workplace or Microsoft 365. So first things first, there were great announcements for new Outlook features, which would make for users to um, make it easier for managing their tasks, schedules, and calendars. And this was achieved by introduction of Outlook board view in Outlook calendar. And this is designed to make, like I said, it's to use calendar easier and manage it. And this feature is now available for everyone and has a free form view. So what does it mean? That you can combine different applications or different different things within this one board, like for example calendars, files, reminders, and to-do lists in one place. So you can customize your Outlook calendar as you want to. So this one board will be your one place where to look for all the information. And I think that this is great. You don't have to anymore jump through different applications, open them up all the time, because we know, like, when we start working, Outlook is the first thing that we open and check. So here it's also going to be all the information up to date in this one view. Another thing they rolled out was suggested times in Outlook. So this feature just helps finding times for your meetings, which like most of us, meetings are still done online. So it's a very necessary tool to just see when can we meet, because everybody has their own schedule. So that's definitely a function was called for. Another thing I want to talk about is at Microsoft, they think very much about security, and especially about this zero trust practice they prepare. So this is what not only that this protect from the outside threats, but also protecting from the inside ones. And some of the most exciting features that were announced about within this security, compliance, and identity topic was co-authoring of the documents protected with this Microsoft Information Protection. So what does it mean? This enable multiple users to work simultaneously on protected documents. Um, so yeah, and while they work together on these documents, they also have all the security they need for protection of these documents and emails across the Microsoft 365 apps. Another exciting feature which was announced was I haven't checked it yet, but definitely need to go at it. And this is Microsoft 365 now offers data loss prevention for Chrome browser and on-premise servers based environments such as file shares and SharePoint servers. Maybe the ones who is not familiar with data loss prevention, it's a system in Microsoft when certain data that you make security policies for are not able is not able users are not able so easily to share them across with other people, and therefore there's really little chance that the information goes beyond where it's intended to. So I think they adding this to Chrome browser and on-premise service-based environments, it's a really big step forward in securing your data even more and keeping it within the organization and how it is intended to use. One more thing they announced is passwordless authentication. It was already available in some regions, but now it's generally available. So employees at their organizations that activate this passwordless authentication will no longer need to use passwords to sign into this Microsoft 365 network. Instead, they can use different methods, which I have outlined here, and it's from Windows Hello to Microsoft Authentication app. Maybe some of us are already using it, and there's more features to be used to accompany every user's needs and how they want to use this authentication method. And in addition to that, there was temporary access pass made. It's a time-limited code used for setup and recovery of password credentials. Has been released to public view. So with this temporary access pass, new network users receive this one-time password to log in and register their account, and then they can register to this passwordless credentials, such as authentication app or any other authentication method they would like to use, and therefore, yeah, also having its safe one-time password for these kind of methods. I just want to say that this is only a fraction of what Microsoft offers as a security services. So if you have any interest in this field or have any customer that are concerned about their organization's IT safety, there are several options, plans loaded, and I mean loaded with the features from Microsoft. So don't hesitate and contact TVG team, and we'll help you and your customer to find the right solution for what are they curious, or what are their needs for. Yeah. Another thing that was announced is Microsoft Universal Print. It's a really interesting announcement. Wasn't waiting for it there, but it's a modern print solution that organizations can use to manage their print infrastructure through cloud services. And this Microsoft print solution runs entirely on Microsoft Azure. So when it is deployed with the Universal Print compatible printers, it doesn't require any on-premise infrastructure. So that's really interesting, and would like to see how it works. But also this Universal Print, like I said, it's a cloud-based print solution, and it eliminates any need for print servers, installing printer drivers, and provides the simple, secure printing. And again, here we see this zero trust environment. So users can not only print from Windows devices, but they can print from anywhere they want, from OneDrive, business, different browsers of their choice, and other places. So this is an exciting feature. And one thing I would like to add, it's this feature is also available for Microsoft 365 Business Premium plan. And I think lately Microsoft has been really what's the word? Really customizing this Microsoft 365 Business Premium plan to and helping their customers to find the one solution for all their needs. And it's just for me, it's very interesting to see how they continuously add to this plan more and more features, and also the features that the people are asking for. So if you have customers who are under 300 people in the organization, and there are some concerns about the security and productivity, and where to go further from maybe their own different infrastructures. I think it's definitely a plan to look forward to and get a little bit more information about it, to learn about it a little bit more, and also yeah, educate the customer about the features and other things that this plan can provide for. One more thing I would like to mention, this wasn't announced in the Ignite, but it is a news. It's about open licenses and how open licenses will be added to CSP. To CSP. So what does it mean? So we all know that how we buy open licenses now and how we activate it through a VLSC portal. But this starting from next year, they will close down the VLSC portal, and all the open license keys and everything will be added to CSP. So what this means for the customers, the licensing not gonna change too much at the moment, but the way of purchase is gonna change. So before the customers were activating the keys through this VLSC portal, now they will find the keys in their Microsoft 365 tenant or Microsoft tenant. There's going to be and there is already in place a special location where you can find these keys. So yeah, everybody will have to have a Microsoft tenant in order to purchase and use these keys. That's another interesting announcement that was made earlier this year. And if you want to know more about how it's going to work and everything, we can have a separate conversation with you about it, especially the ones who buy large quantities of open licenses. So there is going to be a little bit more changes, and I would say it's even better changes, because it's going to make everything more easier to work with. There's not going to be multiple different portals. It's one portal, and there's all the customer information you need, and also the administration is very easy, and an overview and how that portal is different and more easy to use and understand compared to the old version, which is sometimes even accessed only through old Internet Explorer browser. So there's going to be some modernization to that. To conclude my part of the presentation, I would like to tell you about training and certification updates. To address this security skill gap that we still have. Not a lot of companies are talking about security, so Microsoft has added 4 new security, compliance, and identity certifications with supporting training, and has made several updates to Microsoft Security Technical Content Library. So what does it mean? That there's already content in place, and with these certifications and content will help you, like cybersecurity professionals, to increase their skilling, knowledge, and keep up with complex cybersecurity threats. And that's you can see here at the bottom, it's this new line SC security. So there's 4 new certifications, SC 900, which is the fundamentals, and then if you want to go in depth with already in depth with other take yourself to another security journal and have a little bit more in-depth knowledge about that. You can choose from information protection or security operations or identity and access certifications, which are also going to provide more in-depth information and learning journey towards these traits, you can say, security traits. And why I highlighted here MS 900 and AZ 900 exams, maybe not um, much of you know about the certifications within the Microsoft and how they work. I often get this question from salespeople, sales staff, partners who I work with. It's how they can learn more about Microsoft solutions. And why I highlighted these 900s exams, this place is a great place to start diving deeper into Microsoft Universe, you can say it. And all these certifications, they come with learning paths. So materials are already there for you to educate, and as an added bonus in the end, you get a certification that basically shows that you are keeping the pace with today's technology. If you are curious about Microsoft Cloud solutions, maybe you're already working with them or plan to work with them, have a new colleague who came join your team, or maybe someone from your staff want to learn more and have this extra knowledge about Microsoft solutions and deep dive into one of the solutions, you can easily reach out to us, and here at TVG will help your organization through these certification and licensing jungles. Yeah, that's in short everything I have today for you guys. Hope it was helpful. Thank you. If you have any questions, I will now check the chat section, and I will give my word to Dave. Let me see the chat section first. Are there any questions? Any news on Teams Pro? Yeah, it's going to be a good question to Dave, but no, so far I haven't read any news on Teams Pro. Maybe not everybody is familiar with, but Teams Pro is something Microsoft plan to release as a separate Teams license. So there's going to be just kind of basic Teams and also Teams Pro within the future, but so far no, there's no any concrete news about when it's going to happen and what exactly it's gonna how they're gonna be divided between the regular Teams and Teams Pro. Okay. Yeah, if you have any other questions, please let us know in chat window, and let's have a discussion about what you are interested in. Yeah, and then I will give my word to Dave, and Dave, you can carry on.
Yep, thank you for the great description. I'll add on a little bit atop the Teams Pro news. What I've so far read about it is it's going to be included in the Microsoft E3, E5, A3, A5, and Premium package. It's just going to be added on top of it. There's nothing you need to do actually to, purchase it separately. And I've also read that it's going to be there to enhance meetings and increase the webinar capabilities of Microsoft Teams. So yeah, it's going to just automatically be added, and you can disable it or enable it from Microsoft from the Microsoft side at any time. Okay, so I'll just get into the nitty-gritty of my own presentation, and hope everyone can see my screen right now. So I'll be going over Microsoft Teams announcements, what interesting new things that are there to come to Microsoft Teams, and also I'll be going over the frontline worker licensing, who they're meant for, and what the licenses include in themselves. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's first go off with what meeting extra features we're getting. So dynamic view, presenter mode, and PowerPoint live teams. All great features, and let's just look at team dynamic view. So the dynamic view here is to change the view of how it shows the people or everything, the gallery, or the chat for you. So you can set it on automated, so it pops up the people that are talking, or the presentation is there, and it's just gonna, keep the presentation primary, but it's going to increase the size of the person who is talking, for example, or it basically automates things and auto adjusts a lot of it. Also, you can manually adjust it how you feel it's going to be convenient for yourself. And that's a neat feature that is coming to Teams. Next up, we do have presenter mode, which is in my point of view quite the interesting one. Obviously meant for more meetings and webinars, but what it's here for is that it's going to create the virtual green screen effect behind your back. So, and on top of that, it's going to show your presentation. So, which that means I can actually show here. There are 3 different views for that. This is the first one, which shows from the basic one, green screen behind, person in front. So the standout one. Next up, they can switch to that view, which is going to be you in front, and the side-by-side view as well. So these are the 3 new views that are going to be added to the that are coming with the presenter view. Okay, so let's continue off with the PowerPoint Live in Teams. The PowerPoint Live in Teams is a convenient little application. Basically, you can, instead of opening up your PowerPoint and then sharing your screen of the PowerPoint and just doing everything, you are able to just open the PowerPoint presentation in Teams, in PowerPoint Live, which allows you to do everything from Teams instead of using 2 different applications. The other upsides to this would be that it allows the participants to go back and forward from the slides as well, if they want to, without actually disturbing the presentation itself. So the presenter doesn't have to, move back a couple of slides. This is especially convenient for schools who at the moment you also use slides. Students can just jump back a couple of slides, get their notes to what they need, or even in meetings where you just miss something, you can quickly skip back a couple of slides and check it. So yeah, it also has the feature that it shows the notes that have been written in a PowerPoint presentation. So you're able to actually see the notes there as well. So you can have extra notes there to show, not show, but talk a little bit more in depth about the topic. What some people might want to read. Okay, let's continue with that. So, what's new about meetings as well? So we got 2 new interesting things about it. Gallery view for Teams rooms and Teams panel. So Teams is offering a couple of new views, a gallery view and together mode. So the gallery view is basically, it's going to put everyone's on a screen, like actually you can see on the top right picture here. It's going to show everyone like a gallery here. So, and the other one is together view. The together view is like this. It's basically generates a virtual classroom auditorium and puts everyone like in their seats. So it creates a feeling of, as the mode says, together, as everyone's sitting in the auditorium together. So for live webinars or things like that. So next off is Team Panel. This is hardware now. We're talking not only software. This is hardware that you integrate into your system for meeting rooms, and it's just a convenient little hardware piece that allows you to, from behind. It has LEDs behind its side that show you if the meeting room is in use. If it's not in use, you can, because you can link it up to Teams. You can always check the rooms if they're in use or not in use. What meetings are approximately, not what meetings are actually being held there. and it also can check if you have been invited to that meeting actually. Okay, let's continue off with some security facts about that's security, compliance, and privacy things that are coming to Teams as well. So first off, we have invite only meeting options. This basically works in a way that usually you invite a person, they can invite to the same meeting, another person, and so on, so on, and so on. What this does differently now is that if you create the meeting, you invite your first people, or people you invite, they can join the meeting instantaneously. But if they invite some extra people into the lobby, into the meeting, they will be directed first into a lobby where the meeting host can see that someone's in the lobby, and then they can allow the other person to join the meeting. So it's just a secondary step. So maybe unwanted people don't join the meeting without you knowing. So it's a little extra step there. You can, if I remember correctly, you can also disable that feature so that everyone can join, but it's an extra feature that is going to exist. So what's interesting now as well is safe links that Teams is adding to itself is that Outlook already uses the same system. It tells you if the link is safe, or it basically opens it in a virtual sandbox and checks if this link might have any malware, isn't safe or something like that. Now Teams is incorporating that feature into itself as well. If someone sends you a link, you open it, it's first going to open it up in a safe environment. If it sees that, yeah, it's all good, it's going to just jump you to it. If it feels like it's not safe, as you can see, it's going to give you an error. This website has been classified as malicious, and you have an option to, if you want to continue or if you don't. But yeah, it's an extra feature just in case. So yeah. Next off is an interesting feature for meetings as well, is the option to actually disable the other person's camera. Sometimes, people join in, forgot to disable their camera. We already have the mute function, so now we can disable their camera. The presenter or the meeting, the host of the meeting can disable our people's cameras as well. You never know when that moment arises when someone forgets that their camera's on. Okay, so continuing off, let's just jump into the frontline workers for who these licenses are meant for, and what do the licenses include in themselves. Also, we do have some price changes in the licensing as well. So I don't have a slide for who the licenses are for, but mainly for the frontline workers, aka the outside workers that are not sitting at your office doing at their PC. They're walking around with their phone, tablet, but they still need access to the company files. Maybe need to fill a little bit of Excel on their tablet, something nothing major, but they just need access and connection to the company. A big factor about the F1 frontline worker licenses is also that the licenses are meant for Android devices or Apple devices, tablets, phones, and the maximum limit that the screen can be, and it does detect that, is 10 inches, size. So you can't just put it on your, let's say, PC at home. You literally have to use it on a tablet or a smaller device, because that's the main reason it's there. So what Microsoft Frontline Workers licenses actually have to offer. So the F1 license mainly gives the Teams, Jammer, and SharePoint. That doesn't mean they cannot open Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, OneNote, Teams files. That mainly means that they can only view them. That means so they can open it, view it, but they can't do any changes. It's a limited, interaction that they can have with it. So they do have access to the file to the software, but they can't actually do more than view with F1 license. So I'll just quickly ask the question as well. I'm just curious here. Does anyone actually here have used Jammer as well? If you have, please write in the comments. I'm genuinely curious about that, how popular it is for people. So now we have Office 365 F3 and we have Microsoft 365 F3. Seem similar from outside first glance. I do agree. They do give access to that Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, everything. Here's the biggest difference about it. The Office 365. Oh.
Sorry, Dave, your presentation disappeared.
Yep, someone pressed the share button. Okay. I hope everyone sees. Okay.
Yes, you're back.
Awesome. Okay, so the difference here with the Office 365 F3 and Microsoft 365 F3 would be that the Microsoft 365 F3 includes the security features on top of only just the applications. So it is a wee bit more pricey, but then again, you do get the security solutions on top of actually the software itself. So that would be the biggest difference here. Okay, and I'm just saying I'm about to finish my presentation here as well. So just let's check out the pricings for those as well. So as I did mention, some of the prices have been changed. So the Microsoft 365 F1 used to be 337, but yeah, but the new price is 190, and the Office 365 F3 that the price is still the same, nothing's changed there. But the Microsoft 365 F3, now there's the price drop again. We can see it goes from 843 to down to 675. So yeah, those are the small price changes we have here as well. So thank you for listening. Has anyone got any questions that they would like to ask about any topics that they cover? Okay, seems to be quiet. Then maybe we have some at the end. So Andres, I'll pass the baton on to you. So
thank you, Dave. So good morning, everyone. Give me a moment. I will share my slide deck. If you have any questions, feel free to share it in chat or in breaks. Just unmute yourself and ask. So I hope you already see my screen.
Yes, it's
all
clear.
good. Okay, so today I'll be talking about not news as my colleagues did, but I will be talking about thing that it's always it's there for already some time, and sometime before it became more available for small and medium businesses with availability of business voice licenses. So I will be talking about calling features in Teams. So meaning that we are not only able to organize meetings, do video chats, video calls, and so on, but we are also able to call to mobiles and landlines and receive calls directed towards our landline phone numbers. So actually, I was presenting some quite similar presentations in Microsoft event, but today I will talk a bit more about why actually it's valuable and needed such features, and why small and medium businesses should consider migrating their existing phone numbers to Teams. So what is actually a business voice? Actually, it is some kind of, I would say, cloud PBX, meaning that it's not only just transferring calls from SIP trunk from landline to our Teams app or Teams compatible phone device on your table, but we are also able to receive those calls in our tablets, phones, computers, and so on. But also it's capable of doing PBX phone system features, meaning that we can have auto attendant. Let's say this feature that we are all let's say experience from time to time. If you want to get service blah blah blah, you can press 1. If you want to get another service, press 2, and so on. And according to those actions, the call will be directed towards one or another colleague, employee, and he will answer this call. Another thing. Let's say it's possible to have group ringing. I would say that let's say if somebody calls our office phone, Teams will be ringing to all of the colleagues which were described in the rules. Also, it's possible to pass the call to another colleague. Let's say if somebody called me and I have, let's say, I don't have competence to answer this question, I can just pass the call to another colleague who's responsible for some specific topic. And let's say what I've heard from the partners and actually what we experienced on our own example, that currently due to COVID, not somebody is in the office and is able to pick up the phone and answer to the call. Part of the people, at least part of the people, are working from home. In typical situation, some people are traveling, and yeah, those calls are not always answered and so on. So with Teams calling, you can have this phone number wherever you are. Let's say if you have phone and Teams application installed in it, you can already receive those calls. And from other side, if let's say you are abroad and not in European Union, let's say personally I'm expecting to have some vacations in near future, and yeah, I'm just I will be able to start Teams application, dial some landline or mobile number inside of Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, whatever, and just pay a regular fee which will be agreed with my telco provider. And I will not pay roaming fees and so on. And still, I will be able, people will be able to call me, and I will be able to make calls with regular fees. And let's say we have example where our colleague is actually living in a wood with limited connection, and he has actually to go outside to catch better signal and receive a regular mobile call. But he resolved a situation that he has quite stable and good internet connection inside, let's say with antenna or something like that, and he's actually using different applications for calling, not only Teams, but in this case, let's say with Teams calling features, people would be able to call him calling to landline, and he would be able to just dial any number and yeah, reach people not by, I don't know, Skype, Viber, Teams, or any other applications, but using regular landline. Yeah. So moving forward. Talking from licensing perspective, actually we have a situation here that if you want to offer this feature to your customers, you should take Microsoft 365 Business Voice without calling plan, because in Baltic states Microsoft calling plans are not yet available, and I have no news when it will be fully available in our region. So you just take cheaper licenses without calling plan, and take calling plan from your telco, and just integrate those two things, and you have the result. Yeah. What's next? How those features, I will be not stopping on each and every of the features. We will share a video, and I guess we'll be able to share our slide decks, so you will be able to go through those features and just make sure if it has what's needed for you. How it looks like. So Microsoft Teams phone systems, yeah, what I already told, that calling plans are not available. So the only available option for us is direct routing and taking calling plan from local telcos. You just take SIP trunk and using SBC that I will be talking shortly. You connect it to Microsoft Teams, and in Teams admin console you can do all the administration, number assigning, and so on. Yeah, another architectural scheme, how it looks. So what I already told that certified session border control SBC is needed to connect a voice trunk to Microsoft Teams. And actually we have currently offering for that. We just started our cooperation with Ultatel, a company called Ultatel, who offers Microsoft certified Teams SBC. It's a mandatory component to connect voice trunk to Microsoft Teams. And honestly, we haven't yet launched for ourselves this feature, but looking forward to it. Currently, yeah, moving forward and then talking to partners who will provide us a SIP trunk. But we did quite long-term testing, and what I was really nicely surprised about, that Ultatel is a really fast-moving company, and new features appeared almost every week, and I got best possible support to enable SBC and enable calling features in Teams with the help of Ultatel people, because yeah, I'll be honest, I have absolutely no clue about SIP trunks and calling features. I was absolutely new in this field, and those guys helped me to configure everything. And actually, from team side, it's quite detailed documentation how to enable it and how to start using it. So yeah, architectural scheme looks like this, and over here we need to have session border control, and currently we have offering for this, and we agreed with vendor to offer, let's say, not to have minimum license quantity requirements. Start with one license and with monthly payments. So it's maximally flexible, and you can just roll out and try it. And I would really encourage at least to do for you as partners to do the testing. I'm not sure if you are all of you are familiar with a new thing which is which came from Microsoft for Microsoft partners, that with Microsoft partnership benefits, you received Microsoft 365 Business Premium license and also a Business Voice license. So it's 10 licenses per partner, and you have all the needed licenses from Microsoft which are needed to enable this this thing. And if let's say you are about to do testing, POC, or even fully migrate, don't hesitate and contact us. We will talk to Ultratel. I guess some trials will be available just to test it and to see all the features and all the benefits of this. So why actually Microsoft certified SBC is needed? That Microsoft actually gives a lot of attention for those partners who integrate with Microsoft features. So compatibility of this SBC is fully certified by Microsoft. They perform intense testing, and let's say choosing Microsoft certified SBC provider, you are sure that you will receive quality service, and you will not have any disruptions or technical difficulties and so on. So if even not Ultratel, if you, let's say you have your own, I don't know, some SBC solution, I would definitely recommend to go for Microsoft certified ones. So additionally to SBC for Teams product, also Ultratel offers much more. They are able to offer for solutions for calling centers, for, let's say, call recordings, for different analytics and so on. So if your demand is bigger than just regularly Microsoft Teams calling offers, just feel free to contact us. We will arrange a call together with a vendor, and I'm quite sure that we will find technical solution for your demand. So yeah, full scale of what Ultratel, our partner, offers. And yeah, we have together we can offer solutions for contact centers, different integrations, not only with Teams but also with CRMs, including Dynamics, Zoho, and many others. Yeah, also Salesforce and many other popular ones. If you have any specific calling demand and also want to integrate with Teams, feel free to contact us, and we will talk. So talking about deployment options, this thing can SBC can come as a fully SaaS offering, meaning that Ultratel will take care for hosting, and you will just need to connect it to Teams and forget about infrastructure headaches. But if you want to, let's say, have more control, you can choose any hosting options, including, first of all, yeah, for sure, Microsoft Azure, but also options for Google Cloud, Amazon, or even your private cloud, meaning that you can launch VM in your DC. All the options are available, and also MSP. If you are telco, MSP option it's also available. So yeah, if you have any interest, just contact us, and I'm quite sure that we will be able to offer you a solution. Yeah, so I was much quicker than I was expecting. If you have any questions, or we can go back to features, just feel free, and we can have discussion here. Also, if you have questions for my colleagues, what was presented before, yeah, also feel free.
Hello. Can I ask you?
Sure.
May I understand correctly to build calling in Teams? I have to obtain Teams calling plan. I have to obtain Alcatel calling plan, and I have to be connected to some PSTN network like Telia or somebody else for each user.
Let's say for generally, you are correct. Just some small details. From Microsoft, it goes, yeah, phone system license for those users who will be calling enabled. But let's say if I receive, I have license, I received the call, I can transfer this call to any of my colleagues who even doesn't have the license. Talking about Ultatel, next, let's say, step, or let's say next layer in this architecture. For Ultatel, various licensing models are available. One of them is per user, per calling enabled user, and other option is per concurrent calls, meaning that you can buy, I don't know, 5 concurrent lines. And just let's say have, I don't know, 20 people enabled and so on, but the maximum that you will have, it's 5 simultaneous calls. Let's say incoming, outgoing, it doesn't matter, but let's say you can have this licensing option. And going to a telco, so yeah, you just order the quantity of numbers or let's say calls which is needed for you. Let's say you can, I don't know, despite that you have 20 users with enabled calling, you can have, I don't know, 5 lines ordered from your telco provider. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you. But I starting to understand this solution is not for a small business, for example, because it's not a cheap. It's quietly hard to implement.
Let's say it's for actually my personal experience that even those companies who didn't need that kind of solutions before, currently they are starting to look for some solution just for call routing and for better customer service. Yeah, mostly because of the COVID. So there are plenty of customers who need that kind of solutions in one or another way, and if we sum up all the costs, they should be quite similar, but with Teams calling you can become even more flexible than with those traditional solutions. And if you will calculate how much does it cost to have your PBX, just acquire PBX, deploy it, and configure. I guess the costs should be quite significant. So it all depends on demand. Let's say it's not the solution which will be, I don't know, silver bullet for all the customers, but let's say currently I feel that more and more customers are starting to get this demand for that kind of solutions.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I just want to add to that. That's also if the company is already using, you know, this Microsoft 365 plans, it's easy to implement. It's so also you can look only on this one part of it, or you can look at this a whole thing, you know. So because in some licenses this comes already. You need to purchase it as an add-on, but if you have already this cloud infrastructure in place, then that's a great addition to that.
Yeah, just from the cost perspective, I yesterday just made public analysis from what's available on public websites of some telco providers. So let's say the calling plan can start with €0. You just pay for services which are being delivered to you. Let's say for minutes, for connection, for call itself. Let's say if you have some want to have something packaged, it can be a couple of euros per line. So those are the costs from telcos, but I cannot talk for everybody, but I just found it on the internet. Talking about SBC, cost is something around €2.5. Just let's say if you start with one license and go for fully SaaS option. If you go for concurrent calls, let's say it can be a couple hundred. Sorry, it can be €60 per 5 concurrent calls. So if you have a bit bigger organization, so it depends how you will build the licensing. So it will be something around 10-12 euros, because those prices which I showed for Microsoft Business Voice, those were in US dollars. Let's say for precise price, just contact me for Lithuania, Uldis for Latvia, and Dave for Estonia. We will get you precise prices, your purchase prices, and for this Microsoft Business Voice, and it will be much lower than I was showing.
Excuse me, one more question. If we speak about PSTN connection, do you mean this is you speak about old connection or
no,
or VoIP connection, or it doesn't mean?
It's SIP trunk, voice trunk, SIP trunk.
SIP trunk. But now our phone providers are providing the VoIP connection directly to us. So, for example, in Estonia, I connected to the. I'm using the VoIP telephones directly connected to the telephone provider through internet.
I'm pretty sure that those are synonyms.
So it's okay. Understand. Thank you.
Okay, if you have any more question, we are still here. If there are no more questions, so thank you for joining. Thank you for participation, and hope that we were interesting and useful for you. So thank you, and see you next time.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining, and just saying, if there is some more individual questions, just feel free to write to us, and then keep in touch. Thank you everybody. Have a nice day. Bye.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and have a nice day.